Okay, seems to be fine. All right, hello, good evening, and excellent to see you. I'm back with another live today. Hope you guys are doing fine. I'll wait a bit until some people join in. Hope you understand. In the meantime, I'll get rid of all of this not important stuff. Hello, Velocity. Thanks for coming by. Again. It was a great live stream yesterday, so thanks for coming by. I don't really have any plans for today, except that we chat and we do whatever it takes to have fun. Hello, Make Hope Stan Productions. Hope I didn't butcher that. Glad to be back here and doing this stream with y'all. We're gonna be talking about everything Half-Life related, Left 4 Dead, Valve, whatever you want to know. We could react to some videos together. I of course fixed most of the issues that yesterday needed fixing. YouTube Premium and everything. So YouTube Premium is now purchased, partially, and and we'll have all the fun we need to have. I have seen the Sandwich Saga. I have seen some of it, not all of it. Not the most recent parts. Let me see. I'm not sure if we have all the videos over here. Medic Escapes is the last one here, and that is definitely not the most recent one. So yeah.
Where is Sandwich?
Crikey, you call that a sandwich?
A sandwich. Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell Heavy? I guess we'll never find out. I have seen like a short clip of the most recent one, which is... Oh, let me think which one. I know Dennis Bateman was in there. I could try searching it up, but... Yes, there it is. Whatever, not now. Just want to watch this video. This is the most recent Sandwich Saga video. I'll play it for y'all. I don't want to make sure it's not loud or anything. Hey, Ready Noiser. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I'll play this for y'all now.
Medic!
He is calling you Heavy.
Who needs it?
His bloody bird is talking to him now.
Oh, I'm certain it's a trap.
Is he insane?
Don't make me turn this thing around.
Time has been added.
The ancient power of no refunds.
Oh, we are about to see some serious shit in the upcoming episode. I really admire John Patrick Lowry and, the others for this. It's excellent work. Excellent work. Is the sound okay? Is everything fine? Is the background music not bothering enough? Let me know. I need y'all, my assistants. You guys are my assistants, so I need y'all. So let me know how's stuff. Now you might ask, why did I open up this live stream? Well, there's plenty to talk about. The upcoming interviews, the past interviews. A lot of things happened in these 3 years that the VOC podcast exists. So, yeah, that's why I'm here, to answer you any questions that you might have. both VOC podcast related or anything personal, acting, whatever. Hey Oblivion, glad to see you today too. My top favorite games, my top 5, well, Half-Life, for sure, Left 4 Dead, Team Fortress, Mortal Kombat and Resident Evil. But, yeah, those are my definite top-notch games, my favorite ones. Yeah, those were like huge classics, Half-Life and everything. And that is partially the reason this channel exists, because of Half-Life and Valve. So yeah. So everything should be alright. I'm glad it's that way. What else do we have here? Oh, yes. I wanted to ask y'all if you'd be interested in like any different interviews, like not Valve related or not any gaming related, but my co-host Sam was coming up with the idea that it'd be cool to interview like other people, known for perhaps I don't know, perhaps MMA fighters. That's a stupid example, but something different from gaming. If you'd be interested in something like that, let me know. Musicians, whatnot. So, yeah. Okay. I think it's a really interesting topic to get into. Who do you like to see on the podcast? Let me know, because people usually give me the same people. The people that I have tried reaching, like Ashley Birch, Miss Pauling, and, all these Team Fortress 2 Half-Life voices that they suggest to me, thinking that I haven't tried reaching them. Why the hell would I not try reaching Michael Shapiro, the voice of G-Man and Barney? Of course, these were the main people that I tried reaching first. And if there is no interview with them on this channel, then there's either 2 reasons: they didn't respond, or they said no. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but we're trying to get top-notch guests that you guys would like to see. Tamer Ghazi, the face of Nick, he's a really cool guy, and he never got interviewed about Left 4 Dead before. Same goes for Jesse McKinney. So, whoever you suggest, and if I find the actor or person interesting, then I'll definitely try tracking them down. And see what I can do about that. Am I working on any personal projects? Oh, well, I suppose we could call it that. I'm a voiceover actor, to those who don't know, so I sometimes get some jobs done. I think in a few days you'll see a new release of Half-Life Field Intensity, the mod, in which I voiced a few characters. I voiced the HECU soldiers, a bunch of scientists, and the first year anniversary release is coming up, which is, I think, maybe tomorrow, if not today, but I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, and Black Mesa Blue Shift is released, chapter 4, in which I voiced Simmons. So, yeah, that's what I worked on most recently. Let me see. Okay. Hope that answers your question. My question to you guys is, who do you like to see on the podcast? Any new guests, or someone reoccurring, someone we already had on. You did notice that I brought back multiple voices that I've interviewed already. So whoever you have in your mind that you'd like us to interview again, then make sure to comment that down, and I'll consider it. About Back 4 Blood, to be quite honest with you, I have never considered interviewing anyone from Back 4 Blood. because I do not follow the game. I have never played it. But if you'd like my opinion on Back for Blood, I really can't tell because I haven't played it, so yeah. I have heard that it's, of course, it has its issues and with the fan base and whatnot. Hey, Aphex. And, I don't know what to say. I don't plan on playing it. I actually played it, I think, now that I'm recalling, I think I played it like for 5 minutes once on Xbox One. I gave it a try and I quickly gave up. It just wasn't that enjoyable. Maybe because I was playing it alone. It was free on Game Pass. So I was like, let me give it a try. But, except that I have no other experience with Back for Blood. And I mean, it would have been surprising if they would have brought back some Left 4 Dead voices. Anyone, it would have been cool. But they didn't, so I don't know. As I was watching the credit list of that game, I haven't really recognized anyone from there. Hey Patrick, welcome to the stream. It's like the first official stream here on this channel after 3 years. Well, it's new a bit to me. Hey Velocity, so about CS:GO actors, you know what? I had some plans, and I was supposed to interview Chris Fries. And I'm not a huge CS:GO fan, just so you know. But Chris Fries was the voice of, I think, the FBI class. Oh my god, I'm calling them class. But he was the voice of the FBI before he was replaced. Let me see, I'll try to find the credit here. There it is. He was the voice of the FBI team, and I think after some time he got replaced, maybe by David Scully. I might be wrong, but I do know he was replaced. And I was supposed to interview him, but like I said yesterday, not sure if you've seen the interview. I mean the live stream yesterday. But I was saying that I don't usually tend to interview people from games that I don't really like or didn't play, because they just wouldn't be interesting to me. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So this was supposed to happen, but then I dropped it. Yeah, Left 4 Dead is definitely better than Back 4 Blood, but I mean Left 4 Dead is a classic. Nothing can replace that. Maybe Left 4 Dead 3 could. By Valve. How to bind or play the screen voices in Left 4 Dead? Well, that's not really a related question to this live stream, but you know what? I'll tell you. If we're talking about Left 4 Dead 2, then you can just go up to the workshop and there's a mod called... They're just called vocalizers. And you download that, and it should automatically appear in your settings, and there you can adjust it to your liking, bind, whatever. Otherwise, I don't know how can you make your characters scream without mods. But I know this same mod is for Left 4 Dead 1 too, but I think that you need to download from the internet because, of course, that game has no workshop. So, yeah. Hope that answers your question. Not sure if you were here, Rady, yesterday, but I was explaining that Troy Baker, I have tried reaching him, and I got responses both times I reached them, or his agency, but I was told that he is not interested in doing non-commercial interviews at that time. I think the last time I tried reaching them was about 1 year ago, but you see, I don't want to keep pushing if it's not necessary. I really don't know, so we'll have to wait and see. I mean, time will tell if we'll be able to get these huge names on. I tried Nolan North, Merasmus, and he was in Uncharted. Whatnot. He's a really famous actor, but people know him as Merasmus from the Team Fortress community. And I'm gonna say this. I mostly want to interview people from the Valve circle, but it's becoming clear to me that I have interviewed most of the people that I could from the Valve circle. So after I realized that there were no more voice actors I could reach, or I just didn't get a response or whatever, I realized I needed to try something else. So that's when the face model interviews started. First one being with the face of G-Man, Frank Sheldon. I was able to reach him through YouTube, which was a huge luck on my end. And let's not even talk about the Earl Alexander interview, who did Lewis. Now that was a very lucky interview. I'm surprised that I was even able to pull that off. I'm surprised that I was able to reach him. That was definitely like 100% luck. Pure luck. If you have any more questions about that, we can get into that topic. Who else would you guys be interested in me having on this channel? I said yesterday in that non-official live stream that in March we'll have an interview with Greg Dale, who is the vocalist behind the Midnight Riders band in Left 4 Dead 2. He sang all the songs for Midnight Riders, a guy with a great voice, and in early March I think I'll be able to talk to him about this, and he will also perform like a short section of Save Me Some Sugar. We're preparing everything already, so you have content prepared, I can assure you. Hey Jimmy. Yes, I have tried reaching Hugh Dillon. To those who don't know, Hugh Dillon is like a really famous actor. Maybe not Hollywood kind of like, but he is a singer in a rock band called Headstones. Really huge guy. I of course didn't expect that he'd be that big. Before, I was like really getting into these interviews, I didn't think that these people would be like celebrity likes, but they are like kind of celebrities, because Rochelle's voice was in like this series called SWAT, and Coach was in The Walking Dead, so these people are more famous than they seem. And while I was lucky enough to interview the voice of Ellis, Eric Clayton, and the voice of Coach, which was also, oh my god, to me, I couldn't believe it, that it was happening. I was not able to reach Hugh Dillon. You see, I have gotten in contact with his voiceover agency, and they said that I should reach out to his, publicist or talent agency, whatever, that doesn't matter. The point was that I tried reaching them, and they didn't get back to me about it. Probably he was not interested. I, of course, tried multiple times before you'd say that, oh my god, I just let it go like nothing. No, of course, I keep trying whenever I get an opportunity. But yeah, Rochelle's voice actress, Rochelle Aites, is her name, which is funny because, the character's name is Rochelle, and the voice is also Rochelle. So anyway, I have reached her publicist, who told me that, no, they were just passing on. At that time, we were a rather small channel, but I don't know what is good enough for them. If we'd have like 100k followers, maybe that would satisfy them enough, but this is all we got. 5k, road to 6k, so yeah, I guess they were not satisfied with the amount of following we have. That's the only thing I can think of, so not much I could do. It is what it is. I really want to see Gordon's voice actor appear on here too, but he is such a busy guy, it's very hard to get a hold of him. Hardcore Logo, I don't know that movie. Let me see. You say Hugh Dillon was in that. This is it. Oh yeah, seems like he is the main character or whatever. Yeah, Hugh is a badass. He definitely is, but I guess he's just too famous for the VOC podcast. So yeah. Robin Atkin Downes, the voice of Medic, I guess too. He appeared on the Shork interview. So if you want to see him talk about Medic, then make sure to check out Shork's interviews. I think he made 2 with the team and also made comic dubs with them, live readings. So yeah, Robin just told us he was too busy. He said that 1 year ago, and since then he didn't respond to our messages. I of course understand because he's a busy guy, so he has a lot of stuff and many emails coming in every day. So I'm not mad at him. If you'd like to see some stuff about Robin, just check out Shork's channel. He's a great TF2 tuber. Thanks, Ricos. I'm glad you like the stuff we make. Have I tried reaching Gabe? Thanks, Jimmy, for the question. I have, believe it or not, I have tried reaching Gabe, because who wouldn't want to interview Gabe Newell himself? I tried. I, of course, didn't get a response. And then when I had Jamil Higley on, the face of Alex Vance, which interview is right here, 8 months ago, and you know, she had some sort of contact with Gabe, and she'd try like getting me in touch with him. Fortunately, that didn't work out, so yeah, no Gabe interview happening anytime soon. But it'd be cool to talk to him, and not about Half-Life 3, because that question must be killing him at this point. Yeah, I mean, Hugh, he had a load of work, and you know, over the years, I really don't think he cares about Left 4 Dead at all, because you know, he just wasn't more famous stuff, and he never talked about Left 4 Dead either. So I don't know. Sometimes it just makes me feel that some of these people don't really appreciate this smaller voice or smaller acting work gigs, you know, because they were in bigger stuff. So yeah, you know, maybe they just go inside a studio, record this stuff, and like get on with their lives. Yeah, maybe he doesn't even know how big of a following he has for Left 4 Dead. You know, only he could tell us about it. Anyway, what else do we have here? Oh yes, Ray Liotta. Thanks, Patrick, for mentioning him, because I have never tried reaching Ray Liotta, actually. I knew him, too, well, not personally, but I knew that he had some issues with Rockstar Games, and, you know, that he wasn't satisfied with the pay or whatever. But I don't think Hugh actually hates Left 4 Dead or whatever. He didn't talk about it, but I just thought of it. You know, I mean, Chad Coleman, he didn't talk about Coach either. But then when he came on our channel for an interview, you know, he was totally chill about it. So I don't know. I really can't tell. Maybe he's just too busy with other stuff, Hugh. You know, he is a singer. You know, he is just doing too many stuff at the same time. So that's understandable. Maybe sooner or later we'll get him on. I was trying to get a hold of Mike Shapiro, who was the voice of, G-Man and Barney Calhoun. And many people think he also did Nihilanth, which is actually wrong, because he never voiced the Nihilanth. It was Bill Van Buren, Valve's executive producer. Bill Van Buren, yeah. And same goes for the HEV suit, because a lot of people are fooled that it was Kathy Levin who voiced the HEV suit, you know, the voice of Gina Cross, but it was actually Kelly Bailey. And, you know, I thought that too for a good chunk of time, until I realized that it wasn't true. If you'd ask, where do I know this from? Mark Laidlaw told me. I had some emails between him and me, so I was fortunate enough to get a hold of this information. Getting back to Michael Shapiro, I got in contact with his agency, and they responded to one of my emails saying that Mike is not interested in a video interview, but he'd love to do an audio interview. And I was like, fine, let's schedule. And they never got back to me about the scheduling. I, of course, emailed them a couple of more times later on, and they still never got back to me. So yeah, I guess that was one of the most closest chances to interview Mike Shapiro. But yeah, I guess that's not happening at the moment. Not that I know of, at least. Maybe he's not interested either. I don't know. He had an interview with Tyler McVicker, so if you're interested in hearing Mike talk about that, you could watch his interview. I'm glad you liked the voice line reenactments in the coach interview. Yeah, I think Chad was really digging that too, especially the cheeseburger apocalypse one. Hilarious voice lines written by the folks at Valve, so yeah, they really know what they're doing. But that's why I love character development and the characters. Chad made Coach such a great character. Yeah. Hey, Big Smoke. Good to see you, Big Smoke. To answer your question, I usually search up the internet first. You know, Facebook, whatever. Anything that can get me started. If I don't find them on social media or don't find any personal websites of the actors, I usually go up to IMDb, depending on who the actors are. In like John Aylward's case, the voice of Dr. Magnuson in Half-Life 2 Episode 2, I had to do that. IMDb Pro, I had to get IMDb Pro and look up his contact information, and I was fortunate enough to find the contact info of his, I think, talent agent, and then he connected us. Otherwise, I would not have been able to get in touch with him at all, you know. Older people don't usually are on the internet, social media, so yeah, that was pure luck that I was able to get a hold of him as well. Unlike for Harry S. Robbins, the voice of Kleiner, he is on Facebook, you know, John Patrick Lowry is on Facebook too, so yeah, and Dennis Bateman, big thanks to John Patrick Lowry, because he was the one who connected me with him. So, yeah, cool guy. Along with his wife, Ellen McLean. Furthermore, Patrick, I just played Left 4 Dead 2 a few minutes ago, and I heard Coach say Cheeseburger Apocalypse, and reminded me of the reenactment. Well, I mean, these reenactments are fun, and I'm sure the people love to see them. We got some hate previously on the TF2 video where on the TF2 podcast where we had, like, yeah, this one, the reunion podcast. They were mad, people were mad because I made them say lines from the game and not new lines. Like, what do you expect me to do about that? I'm just gonna make them say some lines from the game that they already did because, you know, I'm not Valve to pay them to say new voice lines. Anyway. But people who are looking for new voice lines, we have a playlist called Promotion, and there we have all the promo videos in which the actors reprised their roles, including Ellen McLean, John Patrick Lowry, Earl Alexander as Lewis, Vince Valenzuela as Francis. So if you're interested in hearing them perform as their characters again, then check out these cool promotion animations. Furthermore, what do we have here? Oh, that's cool, Noiser. You were the one who requested the Cheeseburger Apocalypse line. Yeah, when I was selecting the quotes for that video, I really had to, like, make sure I selected the right ones, because I didn't want to select too many. And I thought excuse me was a pretty notable line in itself. So I was like, okay, that's the one I'm gonna make him say. And then when it came to the second line, I was like, okay, I need to make him say something that was very, like, coachy. And what's more coachy than cheeseburgers? So yeah, of course there are many other great lines that I could have made him say, but I didn't want to just make him say a lot of stuff. I mean, I was there. We were in the call with Chad's assistant. She was in there. She was making sure Chad wasn't saying anything he shouldn't be. We tried to keep it a bit formal. But overall, I think it turned out to be a great interview. A bit underrated, if I can say, because, it's a voice with Chad. It's an interview with Chad Coleman, who did the voice of Coach. And he never talked about Left 4 Dead before, so I thought it'd, have like a bigger impact on the gaming industry. But I guess people didn't really care about it. If I could interview someone who's alive or dead, who would it be? Well, that's not really a hard question. I mean, anyone from Left 4 Dead, Jim French. Jim French, the voice of Bill. He also did Father Grigori. Absolutely amazing man. I have never met him, but the videos I have seen of him, he seemed like a really cool guy. But I mean, even if he would be alive this day in 2023, yeah, I mean, he was 89 in 2017, so he'd be over 90 right now. So, yeah, it's absolutely... I don't think there would have been a chance to interview him even at this point, even if he would be alive. I mean, he just doesn't seem like someone who would use the internet. But maybe I would have been able to interview him. I don't know. I guess we'll never know now. Of course, the late Rick May, Team Fortress's soldier. And there's so many people I could still talk about that I'd like to interview. The voice of Dr. Keller from Half-Life Decay, he passed away too, unfortunately. You see, this is just complicated stuff here. So, what can we do about it? Thanks for the question, Kaido. Some funny Gmod videos where Coach was mad due to some characters touch his cheeseburger. Yeah, no, I mean, that was the point. Coach is a huge meme in the Left 4 Dead community, and I mean, I had to make him say something very, notable. And I can't really remember why I made him say excuse me first. And why didn't I make him say something else? I guess I didn't have enough time to prepare that. It was, yeah. So, I'm still glad it turned out fine. I'm just disappointed that it didn't turn out to be as viewed as I expected it to. But I don't mind. I don't mind because I still had the chance to meet Chad L. Coleman, who was in The Walking Dead, The Wire, Left 4 Dead, The Orville. So, that's already a huge pleasure to me alone. So, yeah. Also, just like Lewis, you see, that interview was in 2021 with Earl Alexander, and I'm planning on bringing him back this year, just so you know. We're in talks with Earl, and I can't recall if I made him sell pills here or not. I hope I did, because, that's also a huge meme in the Left 4 Dead community, pills here. It's much more funnier than the insert gaming memes, which is a dead meme at this point. So, yeah, but, yeah. So, definitely when Earl comes on next time, we'll make him say, grab him pills, or we'll see what else we will make him say. Big Smoke, to be honest, voice actors deserve a lot more credit for their work. Yeah, definitely. Definitely they do. I think they're too underrated. A lot of voice actors, for example, especially in the Resident Evil 2 remake and the remakes, most of these people have not only done the voiceover, but the motion capture. And a lot of people underestimate their work and underrate them. But I think what they're doing is an amazing thing to do. It's not easy. It's not as easy as people may think. I'm a voiceover actor myself. I tend to call myself professional, but just because I got paid already to do voiceover work. Otherwise, I would just call myself an aspiring voice actor, I suppose. But yeah, it's not an easy job. And if you're doing the motion capture of the character, and you mostly just get credited as the voice of the character, yeah, that's what's that if not being underrated? Furthermore, I was also thinking of bringing back Chad Coleman again. You know, discuss what else I left out of the Left 4 Dead interview with them. But I don't know if you fans deserve this, because the first one didn't do as well as I expected it to. I'll take a sip of my water. Okay. So, yeah. Just let me know who you'd like to see on here, honestly. Because with opening the face model interviews, that's a huge opportunity for the VOC podcast. And let me know who you'd like to see. I'm in talks with the face of Bill from Left 4 Dead, with the face of Lewis from Left 4 Dead. I just had an interview with the face of Ellis, but that video is really not performing well. And, that just demotivates me. So I don't know what to think. Furthermore, who else is there? I have not been able to reach the face of Zoe. I have talked to the face of Francis Taylor Knox, who's a famous surfer. And we were supposed to do an interview, but it just got delayed until we forgot about it. So I don't know what's gonna happen to that. But I really would have loved that interview. But why don't you guys let me know who would you like to see? Perhaps someone new on the podcast, or someone reoccurring from previous episodes. Really, let me know, because I need to hear your voices. I need to know what you guys want, because for now, all I'm doing is, making it up in my own mind. So I'm bringing on whoever I think is the best, but I'm not sure if that's the right choice. So I'm just doing what I can. I have not interviewed the voice of Medic. If you wasn't here when I was explaining it, I did get in touch with him at one point, a year ago maybe, and that was also pure luck, because he checked his old email address, which he doesn't use anymore, and he said that he wasn't really available at those times. But if you want to hear about, Robin Atkin Downs, then you best check out Shork's channel, Shork. He is a TF tuber, and really, he interviewed him twice, I think, and they also did some live comic dub readings. So yeah, if you want to hear about him, then make sure to check out Shork's channel. He's a cool guy. Also, the people who didn't see the video of Richter Overtime, the Half-Life 2 face models, then you should check it out, because it's a really interesting video. I don't know, it just came to my head right now, because since we interviewed some face models, it was really interesting to see what he found about these faces, because there's not a whole lot of information about them out there, but what he found is cool enough. Maybe he will make one about the voices too, so yeah, keep on lookout. But thanks for the suggestion, Kaido. Yeah, I'd like to interview him, the voice of Medic, but only time will tell if I'll be able to succeed or not. That's a great question, Velocity. That's a great question. And I hope I'll be able to explain this in as much detail as I can. Well. It all started back in 2020, October-ish, when I was watching interviews with Ellen McLean, because Ellen McLean is I'm a huge fan of her. She's my idol. And I really liked the performances she did, Team Fortress 2, where she did the administrator. But I mostly loved her for the Overwatch in Half-Life 2. That might sound crazy, but I really liked that cold voice that she was able to do with that transatlantic accent, and it was just really inspiring to me. And then when I started doing Overwatch impressions, also back in 2020, but that was back in May, so that was before this idea. So I was like, I'd like to meet Ellen McLean. Like that was my goal. Like, okay, I need a reason to meet Ellen McLean, but it's out of the question to travel to the United States. Okay, so what am I gonna do? Yeah, well, interview her. Why not, right? And at this point, there was no talks of podcast or anything. I was like, okay, I just want to interview her. And at this point, my gear is absolutely. Let's not talk about it. It was a shitty gear I had, a very bad computer. And so I knew that I probably wouldn't be able to record a talk. I didn't want to record it at that point either. Or at least not with the intention to release it on YouTube or whatever. I just wanted to meet her and tell her that I love her, that I make Overwatch impressions, whatever. And yeah, that was my initial plan. But then John Patrick Lowry, the husband of Ellen McLean, I was in contact with him, not directly with Ellen, and he told me that that call would have to be recorded and we'd need to like upload it. Okay, he didn't say that we need to upload it, but it should be recorded and like put up to YouTube. That's I guess what he meant by, because I didn't want to waste their time, and they didn't want to waste their time, because then they would have to go on a Zoom call with everyone, and what would they have from that? Meeting every single fan one by one, waste of time. So okay, it was obvious that this call had to be recorded and it needed to be put up to YouTube. Then I was like, I was looking for someone who I could run this channel with. And first I talked to Skizix, who is the voice of Dr. Kleiner in Raising the Bar Redux. He's a very close friend of mine. But he didn't have the necessary time. And if you check out some of our interviews, the interview with Lewis, Francis, and the interview with Dr. Kleiner, the first one, he was present in those, Vincent, also in the Gavin Hammond interview. So he was in those. I needed a co-host. That didn't work out. And then Sam, Entity, he goes under Entity on Discord and everywhere. I came up with the idea of making this podcast with him, and he was very interested. To those who wouldn't know, Entity is the voice of Barney Calhoun in Raising the Bar Redux. I had some connections with the people from Raising the Bar Redux. And yeah, he liked the idea, and he agreed that he would come on with me to this meeting with Ellen McLean. And I needed someone who would be by my side, because I wasn't ready to meet Ellen McLean alone. At this point, I was so goddamn scared for my life. I didn't even have a microphone. All I had was my phone, and that's what I used as my microphone. That's why the voice audio quality in the first interview is so shitty. I'm not proud of it, but I never rewatch my interviews, so pain to the people who watch it for the first time. So anyway, yeah, this was the reason. And when we were coming up with the name, or no, before that, we were like, cool meeting with Ellen McLean. But what if we would meet with Gary Schwartz too? And that's when we were starting to think about if it'd be a good idea to make an actual podcast where we'd chat with the voice actors from Valve games. Now that's when the idea became a thing. That's also back in 2020 October. And then we needed a name. But what name? What name should we give to our podcast? And then I think Sam's father said that VOC podcast. And we kept VOC. We had no reason why. We just kept VOC. But as time went by, we realized that there's an actual meaning behind VOC. If you think about it, VOC podcast, vocal podcast. Vocal as for voice actors, vocal talent. So if you think about it, it has a reason why it's the VOC podcast. Anyway, That's a long story, so hope that answers your question. Well, I mean, you see, at the beginning, I didn't even know how to reach these people. My best bet at like the very beginning, like the actual beginning, the meeting with Ellen McLean, that only happened because I added her husband, John Patrick Lowry, on Facebook, and he accepted my request, and then I was able to message him. So that was, I guess, pure luck too. But at this point, I'm surprised of myself that I wasn't afraid to message this random, to me, not known person. You know, we didn't know each other, so I'm surprised that it wasn't weird to me to message this unknown actor talent. You know, I did, and because of that, the Vogue podcast exists, and that was 3 years ago. Well, 2.5. So it's crazy. It's nothing like not a special story, but I think it's interesting enough. I'll take a sip now of my water. That's some good shit there. Does this still work? Okay. So yeah, long story short, I was lucky, I suppose. But anyway, no, I won't say that, Captain. I won't say the forbidden gaming line. And I suppose what made me want to interview Ellen is not only that I was a fan of her, but I was getting into voice acting, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't have thought about it. Hi, Grimnir. I have tried reaching Rochelle Yates. I have gotten in contact with her publicist, but they told me that they just gonna have to pass. That was like maybe a year ago. Maybe because we didn't have a good enough following? I don't know. They just said they're gonna pass. They didn't really give us a specific reason why. You understand? And I tried reaching them later, but they just didn't get back to me, so yeah. I guess we're just not big enough for them. I don't know. I don't see into their brains, unfortunately, but yeah. My most memorable interview, thanks for the question, Kaido. Well, I could definitely tell you which one is not the most memorable. A year ago maybe, or when I was setting up the IMDb page for the Vogue podcast, where I would list the episodes and everything. I was adding the episode numbers and everything, and I forgot the Stick Seat Tongue interview. It's a great interview, but I don't know, it just slipped out of my head. I don't know why. But my most memorable interview, like all the ones at the start, the one with Ellen McLean, Gary Schwartz, all those at the beginning were really memorable because, you know, that was my first time meeting these people. Harry S. Robbins, you know, the voice of Dr. Kleiner, when I joined in the call with them and I heard him speak, I was like, oh my god, that's Kleiner. And I mean, like, it wasn't just the fact that he sounded like Kleiner, he was talking like Kleiner, he was like really smart and everything. I mean, he is a poetic man, you know, you understand me, but it was just really mind-blowing to hear him speak to me in that very Dr. Kleinery voice, you know, and under those interviews I have read comments where they would tell me that I sound like Dr. Kleiner too, that the interviewer sounds like Dr. Kleiner. I'm not sure if that can be, if I sound as close or whatever, if I sound close to him at all. You'll let me know if you think my voice is similar to Dr. Kleiner's or not. Scouts VA, you know, Nathan Vetterline. I have heard that he is dealing with some personal issues in his life, which he's trying to sort out. I don't know what those issues are, but I don't really want to get into those either. I tried reaching him. A good friend of mine who is friends with Nathan, I tried reaching him through them, and yeah, he is either just not interested, which he definitely isn't interested. What am I saying that? Yeah, sorry for... I'm just acting stupid at this point. Yeah, he is definitely not interested. He didn't appear in the Sandwich Saga videos either for that reason, I mean, he just doesn't want to. I mean, I think he has a wife. I'm not sure if he has children or not, but, you understand me that he has his own life, and if he doesn't want to participate in this stuff for whatever reason, that's his decision. And I don't want to change that. And I don't want to try either. My favorite Half-Life mod. You see, you would probably expect me to say one of the mods that I was a voice in, but I don't want to be that egoistic. Big favorite of mine has to be They Hunger. The mod from... I can't even tell you when it came out, but it's very old. And it's a mod for Half-Life 1. And that was one of the first mods I played. And that's an absolutely mind-blowing mod. A big favorite to this day. And thanks for mentioning it, because after this live stream, I think I'm gonna boot up some Half-Life mod and just play something. Because it's been so long since I played anything. Because... I just lost the taste. I have over 2,000 hours on Left 4 Dead 2. So, I was a huge gamer. Over 1K on Team Fortress 2. So, I was a huge gamer, but I'm just losing the interest in playing anything. But meeting these voice actors, it is what keeps me going. I mean, just think about it. Just think about it. Just think about yourself. Think about yourself, and, for example... imagine yourself in a call with a voice actor who is 70 years old. They could be your grandfather or grandparents. You understand that it's crazy that I'm talking to someone that old and I'm able to have excellent conversations with them. It's, I don't know, to me, it's a bit mind-blowing, but I don't know about you guys. So you do think I sound like Dr. Kleiner a bit. Well, I have voiced Dr. Kleiner for Half-Life 2, the Google Translate edition. Not sure if you guys know that mod. It'll come out soon, I think. It's like just the character saying gibberish, whatever. I can't really... if I understood it correctly, they put the original text into some other language, and then they also translate that, and they translate that, and they put it back to English after several languages or whatever. And whatever gibberish bullshit comes out of as the results, I'm supposed to read that. And I did, and some people said that it's funny to do those lines. To me, actually, I didn't laugh once recording that stuff. Maybe. I mean, I just don't think of them. I don't really, find humor in them. That's not their fault. It's the fact that I can't really laugh at something that I'm trying to work with. I try to keep it professional. My favorite Left 4 Dead 2 custom campaign, I don't know. I don't really think about that kind of stuff. One custom campaign that I played the most is Tank's Playground. But I'm not sure if we can call that a campaign. Well, let's just stick to that. Well, Nathan, yeah, like I said, I mean, he knows what he's doing, and I really don't want to keep bothering him. I mean, Grand Good Eve also gave me a reply that he's just not interested. Some people are just private people, and not all the actors or voice actors like to get interviewed, because voice actors, the point of being a voice actor is that you are behind the scenes, and that's some of them. That's the way they just want to stay. They don't want people to see them live or on camera. I'm also one of those people. I consider this as a job, and I'm a voice actor because I like to be doing that, but I could be an on-camera actor, but I don't want to do that. I was thinking of interviewing game developers, but I tried reaching Chet Valisek, and well, he didn't respond to me. But I was trying to interview some other people. I tried to get Mark Laidlaw on. I was in contact with him. We talked, but he doesn't want to talk about Half-Life anymore since he left the company, Valve. You understand me. So yeah, he didn't want to do it, and I tried to get Randy Pitchford at one point, but then I heard some bad stuff about him, and then I backed up. And I didn't really think of anyone else. I mean, I do know that I tried reaching this woman. I can't remember her name, but she was the texture artist for Half-Life. And I really can't remember her name. I think it was something Karen. She was a Karen. Her name was Karen. And yeah, I really can't recall her last name. But yeah, I tried reaching her and she didn't get back to me. So I guess I just dropped the idea. But in the description of the VOC podcast, it is mentioned that we interview actors, voice actors, and game developers. So I don't know if you'll end up seeing something like that. I'd hope so. Would I interview Gary? I don't know. I haven't thought of interviewing him yet, and I haven't tried reaching him either. I'm not sure. Let me know if it'd be a great idea or not. I don't know if he'd be interested at all, because mostly if there are no interviews with the people on the internet, then that also may suggest that they don't want to be interviewed, I'm talking about famous people. Gary is kind of well known for Gary Smod, and I'm pretty sure he gave some interviews to some articles and journalists, but I don't think he did live interviews. Wait, let me see. Gary Gmod interview. Gary Newman is his name. And we'll see if there's anything on here. Well, if he did get interviewed, then that's cool. I didn't plan to interview him yet. Maybe I will. I don't know. What got me into voice acting? Thanks for the question, but like I said, it was Ellen McLean's, impact. Ellen McLean's Overwatch impact, and all I wanted to do was just Overwatch impressions and help out Half-Life mods, and potentially make some money out of it too. Which occasionally I did, and I still do Overwatch impressions to this day, and I'm really digging it. And at the start, I didn't want to do anything else, because like I said, I didn't really have an actual microphone at the beginning. So I did Overwatch because, it was that filter and everything, so that hid my quality or whatever. And after I got a microphone, I started getting into this more seriously and, doing all sorts of voices, citizens, scientists, security guards, soldiers. So, I'm trying to do whatever I can to help out the community of Half-Life and whatnot. Okay, Kaido, so you're interested in the Gary interview. I will definitely write that down somewhere. Random commenter. If I tried interviewing Grant Goodeve, I have reached him, I have reached his agent, former agent, who got me in touch with Grant, but Grant was just not interested. So I made it. I did get in contact with someone that you thought we'd never do. And I think a lot of people never really, like, got close to that or whatever. I'm not trying to, like, praise myself or something, but I'm just saying that we did get a definite response saying no. What is the current microphone I'm using? You see, it's a $100 mic. Not really well known in the industry. It's a streaming mic, made for streaming. I'll have to take a look. I really apologize, but I can't really answer that question fully. But it's a $100 microphone, a streaming microphone, and it served me well throughout my 2-year journey with it. Nolan North, I have tried reaching him. I never got a response. So, I'll keep trying, but I know he did this cameo video called Mirasmus Gaming, but I don't really want to spend money on, I know that if I'd ask for a cameo and he would see it, then he would see it definitely, but, is it really worth it paying, I don't know, approximately $100 just to get an answer? What if it's a no? Waste of my time and money, And I mean, he did do engineer for expiration date, but that was only because Grant was really busy at the time. And I mean, Grant Goodeve did return for this game called Paladins, for an engineer skin later, so he'd still voiced engineer for something. If you weren't aware of that. That was also a cool thing he did. Honestly, I can't tell if Grant Goodeve is proud of the Team Fortress 2 part or not. Like I said with Hugh Dillon, these actors are Hollywood actors, and they obviously have bigger parts, on-camera parts, which pushes them forward. Like actual big parts in the industry, which is much more important to them than some video game part. Because, these are, older folks. They might just think, video games are for nerds. Whatever, I don't make the choices here. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be sick of the game. Or maybe he's just not a fan of games. I don't know. I mean, anything, could be. I mean, most voice actors are not, fans of games. Some voice actors, mostly the younger ones, do get to play their games, but, a lot of these older fellas, they barely game at all, anything, they don't really play video games, so, but I mean, sometimes you just may think of games as a stupidity, Some people just think of it as, actual work, a project, like a movie or something, but some people just say that it's bullshit. Why would I even waste my time on an interview talking about that? Anyway, what else do we have here? Keep the questions coming in. Come on. Come on, people. Move it. You wonder what the people think about... Well, I mean... Definitely do check out the interviews I had with the Team Fortress 2 voice actors. And other ones as well. Because, that might get your question answered. And I mean, the insert gaming, that's also a meme. But when I asked Dennis Bateman to say Spy and Pyro Gaming, he just couldn't... He just didn't know what the hell is this. I, of course, cut out that part from the interview, so you didn't have to watch that, but, he was questioning, what is this for? What is this? I think the Team Fortress community, or Valve community in general, finds stupid stuff funny. And I mean, I'm not trying to defend myself, I also found the gaming meme funny at the time, but that was a year ago, so let's leave all that behind us. Yukas boys, welcome, and thanks for the question. If I can do an interview with Young Melee, I have reached Young Melee. You know, he seems like a cool guy, and there is no interview being planned with him at the moment. I think I talked to him about a year ago. Since then, I lost the touch with him. But I can tell you that when I have messaged him, and he said like, "Oh yeah, man, I saw your message. Like, thanks really for the interview, but like we can't really do it right now because I, got some shit to take care of." That's how he said it. He was really CJ-ish gangster style about it. Like, yeah, man, what's up? Yeah. Like, yeah, we ain't gonna do it now because I got some shit to take care of. Gotta hit the gym and everything. But, yeah, we can plan something for the future. So, yeah, he really does seem like a cool guy. And, I mean, usually, when you're talking to actors, you wouldn't expect them to act like their characters. But young Melee really seemed like CJ, because he was the voice of him. But, these people are actors. How many people are involved in the VOC podcast? Well, of course, it's myself and Entity. We are the co-hosts of it. And while Entity appears less in the interviews, he is still as big as a co-host as I am because, we came up with this idea. And that doesn't change the fact. But we have a few other folks. If you have seen the other interviews, you have seen Skizix, Vincent, who is the voice of Dr. Kleiner in Raising the Bar Redux. He was in some of the interviews, like in the interview with Dr. Kleiner, Harry S. Robbins, he was in that one. He was in the one with Earl Alexander, the voice of Lewis, Vince Valenzuela. So he wasn't in a whole lot of interviews. He was mostly in the stuff at the beginning. And then we have Game Boy. He is our graphic designer. He is responsible for the logo of VOC Podcast. Huge thank you. And at the beginning of our journey, he was the one responsible for the thumbnails. We've changed our styles, and now I'm the one doing those. Because I find these, more attractive to the eye. So, yeah, and he also appeared in a few interviews. And then we have Flash, who appeared in a few episodes of the VOC podcast at the beginning. And he just, came on as an interviewer for those few episodes, but nothing more. If I have any plans for GTA 5 interviews, I had plans, and I quickly got rid of them when I realized that there is no possibility I could ever interview the voice of Franklin, Michael, or Trevor. These are famous people. You understand me? What do you think about the Valve community? Toxic, but cool at the same time. Does that answer your question? Some people are toxic in the community. Modders, a lot of modders are. The people who make these shit mods. I mean, there are like mods on ModDB that are like completely. They shouldn't be there. Like, what is this? What the hell is this stupidity? I don't mean like amateur modders, but like mods that are like joke mods. Like, does anyone play these? Really? Anyway. The old voice actor of Kratos had been replaced by a new one. I don't follow God of War, and I don't know if he ever has been replaced, but I thought it was the same guy doing the voice all along. Kratos voice actor. Douglas Christopher Judge. Kratos. Oh, it is possible that he replaced. The actual voice was replaced. Yeah, it seems like someone did get replaced. Well, I apologize. I can't really answer that question. There can be several reasons why a voice gets recast. One of them being that the old voice is not interested in doing the voice anymore, or they didn't offer a good amount of money to them, or it's also possible that they were too busy at the moment and they couldn't attend the recording And so they had to recast, and once they recast, it stays that way. Until they recast again, if necessary. Will I re-interview the TF2 voices that did the Sandwich Saga? I don't plan to make an interview exclusively about the Sandwich Saga, since I have a feeling that it's like dying out a bit. But I mean, in my interview with Gary Schwartz, it's right here on the screen, the Halloween special. Well, in that one we discussed the Sandwich Saga a bit, and you can also see the first 10 minutes where we interview Demo Man himself. So if you like to hear about Demo Man, then that's the video you need to check out. Okay, thanks for the question, Clive. If I have heard the story about the homeless man who did the face of Eli Vance, he never got credit for his role. Well, I have heard of him, of course, and he looks like Eli more than he ever could look like Eli. It's like real Eli. He looks the most like his character out of the cast. Half-Life Eli Vance face. Yeah, I have heard about the story. It's sad, but what can we do? I'm surprised his name was never mentioned. I mean, because, most of the people, we know their names. I could probably ask Bill Van Buren about it. He would probably know who that was. I have no, knowledge of it. This particularly, they use Larry the Count Hurd, but that's not him. That's not Larry. That's the rapper guy, I think. So yeah, some people thought it was Larry, but it wasn't. Yeah, I think it's a really sad story that he never got credited, but probably he had his reasons. Maybe Valve just didn't want to credit him because, they found him off the street, so why would they credit him? Unlike the other people who were either actors or, whatever. What other reason? Maybe he didn't want to be credited. Maybe he was like, just, give me the money and let me have my life. If he really was homeless, like they say, then, yeah, would you care about some video game if you have your face scanned? Anyway. Oh, he forgot the name. Well, I don't know, but maybe Bill Van Buren would know his name. Or not, I don't know. I'll ask about it, okay? And see what I can find out. If anything at all, that is. And would you guys want to see more Half-Life face model interviews? And if so, who? Because I haven't really looked into who should I get on next. To the new people who didn't know or didn't hear what I said at the beginning, there will be an interview in March with the voice of the Midnight Riders, the vocalist behind them. So make sure to include your questions. I'll make a community post about it probably soon. So just so you guys know, you guys are the only one who I'm telling. I haven't made a post about it yet, so feel free to take this as exclusive information. And if you become a channel member, you get a membership, which I suggest you to do because it really helps us. And you get some extra exclusive info. And I was thinking of this, the following, that I would give you the chance to see the unedited versions of the interviews. You guys, that would be a cool idea? You guys think that? Because obviously most of these interviews have a good chunk of editing. So you would get the opportunity to see the full recordings of all our interviews because I still have them, the source files. Anyway, if you guys be interested in something like that, let me know. I'll take a sip of my water. And you guys should too. Stay hydrated. Damn. Speaking for an hour straight is really not as easy as I thought. What else is there? Yeah, expect no more gaming memes. That's the past. Have you guys watched the John Elward interview? Did you guys like the John Elward interview? If you have watched it, let me know. Because that's a really memorable interview to me, because poor John passed away 8 months after the interview. So that's why it's memorable to me. And of course, no one would expect that someone would pass away, you know. Well, I wouldn't be positive about that. Random commenter. I don't think we'll ever have Grand Good Eve say engineer gaming. And not because I'm trying to be negative here, but because I think that's just how it will be. He will never, get on an interview. Even if you don't want to talk, even if you don't mention Team Fortress 2, he just won't do it because he doesn't want to. Some people, are mad, and I really couldn't care less. It's his thing to do. If he's a private man, then let him be. But I find it hilariously funny that that engineer is the one where the meme originated from, and Grand Good Eve is the only one who didn't say engineer gaming. So that I find hilarious. Well, I'm glad you enjoy our content, Noiser. I'm trying to do my best, but I was thinking of taking a break recently. Honestly, because I just don't feel like doing these interviews. But I'm starting to get my motivation back, so everything should be fine. Don't worry about none. I'll try to keep bringing out content. But I'm not sure if we'll have any live interviews. I don't think people would be interested in that. I think that'd be a waste of time too. Because, being live is, if I'm not live, I can just organize everything and I know everything will be fine, but being live, you never know what can happen. What if the interview goes wrong in the middle of the interview? Whatever, any technical issues, am I just gonna shut it off? That's stupid. No, we don't need that. This interview is already scheduled, so this is one of the ones that are sure that's gonna happen. But I don't have any other interviews scheduled at this moment. That's why I'm asking for suggestions. If you have anyone, definitely Earl Alexander is a plan, and he'll be back sooner or later, maybe around April. We'll bring him back for an interview, but I don't know who you'd want to see reappear, or anyone new, I definitely want to bring on someone, or bring back, maybe if you want, I could consider bringing back Vince Valenzuela, the voice of Francis. We only had him on once. And there was talks of a Left 4 Dead reunion podcast too. But, since Earl is not available at the moment, and I have not been able to get a hold of Jen Taylor, I just don't see a possibility for that. Both Vince and Earl said that it'd be a cool reunion podcast if we'd have Jen Taylor there, but without her, I don't think they'd like to do it either. You understand? But a Left 4 Dead reunion podcast would be cool. They're cool people. Probably not with the Left 4 Dead. We have Eric Layden, the voice of Ellis, and Chad Coleman, but I don't have contact for Hugh Dillon and Rochelle Yates, and they definitely wouldn't be interested. So, yeah. Oh, but I can tell you something. I didn't see any suggestions for doing an interview with the voice of Gina Cross. I haven't seen any suggestions for that, but I tried, but that will not happen. Because Kathy Levin, who did the voice for Gina Cross, is like retired, and she wants to spend the rest of her time with her family. Because, I'm gonna quote her, she said that voiceover took up all her life. And, she just wants to spend time with her family at this point. And I respect that. They're supposed to have another Left 4 Dead comic book to feature the Midnight Riders. I think it's unfinished. I don't know. I don't think Greg Dale, the vocalist behind Midnight Riders, would know anything about that. Because, he just sang. And I mean, most of the reasons are, what people don't know is that these voice actors don't know what's in the works behind the scenes. They don't know if there's gonna be a Half-Life 3 or a Left 4 Dead 3. Or anything. So, like, you understand me. But anyway. Yeah. Is the stream frozen? I hope not. I hope not. So, yeah, basically, what I was trying to say is that a lot of these voice actors have no idea at all of what is in the works behind the scenes. That's why I really hate when people ask voice actors if there's a Half-Life 3 coming up, or if interviewers ask the people from GTA 5 if they're gonna be in GTA 6. They have no idea and no knowledge of this at all until they get booked to do this job. Like, you understand me? Like, and even once they do get booked, they need to sign an NDA. They can't talk about that. So I think those questions are really stupid. What I usually tend to ask the voice actors is that if they are interested, if they would be interested in, like, reprising the role, if they'd like to do it again or whatever. But not directly ask them, is there Left 4 Dead 3 in the works? Also, if the people who ask Gaben that are just really stupid. There's so many other great questions they could ask Gaben. Anyway. Mike Shapiro, I mentioned that I did get in touch with his agent. They replied to me once saying that Mike is interested in a video. Mike is not interested in a video interview, but he'd like to do an audio one, and I said, sure, let's do it, and they never got back to me about scheduling, even after I emailed them multiple times. So, I don't know. I guess he just changed his mind or whatever. Or the agent is lazy. I don't know. I'll leave that up to your imagination. Sorry if this stream is not interesting, but I mean, we're here to chat. I don't know, what am I supposed to play? Am I supposed to play like an interview? Like, I think it's not distracting this way. Free promotion. So yeah. How long is the stream going for? Let me take a quick look. 1 hour. Okay, might stick around for a little bit more before wrapping this up. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy doing this with y'all, and I really appreciate that y'all are here at all. It means a lot to me. What is this? Excuse me for a second here. Oh, it's nothing. Yeah, is there anyone else who you would like to appear on the podcast except the people who were already mentioned? Someone special or someone less known from the Half-Life community? I tried getting in touch with Michelle Forbes, the voice of Dr. Judith Mossman, but that's also a no response, I mean. So yeah, I mean, you should believe me that I have tried reaching most of the voices from Half-Life, and if there is no interview with them up, then that probably means that they said no, or the fact that they didn't respond yet, or I haven't been able to reach them. So yeah, and I mean, you see that there's 2 interviews with John St. John, the voice of Dr. Rosenberg, and the soldiers. So I'm trying to interview whoever I can from yours truly, Half-Life community games. Did that make sense? I guess it did. Anyway. And what are you guys up to these days? Tell me. Watching VOC podcast interviews and streams? Or what? I've been really busy recording some stuff, auditions, doing some I don't know, live readings, and watching The Walking Dead. I'm a fan of that series by AMC, of course. Chad Coleman is also in that one. Reaction videos, huh? That's cool. I mean, reaction videos can be sometimes interesting. Yeah, Wrath 2501. He's a cool guy. I have no contact. I don't know him personally, but I mean, I have saw some of his videos, of course, and gave him some suggestions. He never watched the videos. Unfortunately, I suggested him, but I'm not sure if he did a reaction of the Sandwich Saga yet, but I would hope he did, or I hope he will, because I just want him to. I want to react to a video where he reacts to the Sandwich Saga. I'd like to watch that. He did? I didn't know that. I gotta search that up. Wrath 2501 Sandwich Saga. Or maybe he didn't. Well, I guess he didn't. Well, that's fine. Well, he definitely should. He definitely should watch it. I'd enjoy watching his reaction on the Sandwich Saga, definitely. Well, I think it's about time we wrap this up. I appreciate the people. Will I interview someone called Kimlin Tran? It's the first time I'm hearing the character and the actress name and the game, so I can't really give a definite answer on that. Never say never, I suppose. Maybe once I'll get around knowing that game, I maybe will. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up now. I really appreciate that you guys joined in. I had fun, but there'll be no live tomorrow, and I don't know when there'll be a next live stream. Stay tuned for the Greg Dale interview, the voice of Midnight Riders, the vocalist, and because I'm gonna make the post soon about it. I'm gonna make the community post about it, and you'll be able to comment your questions underneath that post. And I really appreciate you guys coming in here and chatting and giving me questions and whatnot. For future reference, you can come follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and join our Discord server. All the links are in the description. Please do follow us so that you wouldn't miss anything that we do on this channel and whatever. It was an excellent stream, I think. Amazing people, great fans, great interaction. So thanks again, and I can assure you that we will be back with another live sooner or later. So you don't need to worry about that. But until then, keep watching the interviews, follow us, and most importantly, eat your sandwich. So this is me signing off. Bye, everyone.